Hey, what's up, guys? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today I want to discuss the recap from the DAZN Canelo versus Saunders card. I'm just going to do like a brief one because I still have to do my aftermath video in a couple days on everything I think about the fight. I like to give that around about a week before I do a video, letting you guys know how I felt about the fight and all that kind of stuff. So let's kick it off with this card. You know, the card started a little earlier than I expected. I thought it was going to start at 6. It ended up starting at, 5. And I missed Frank Sanchez fighting, but I guess I didn't miss much in that fight. He got the win by a technical decision. And
there's a speed trap ahead.
And that was that one. And then you had the co-feature. Damn, I keep forgetting the guy's name who was on the co-feature. The champion, though, he was fighting a Japanese challenger. And I do have an opinion on this because all the announcers, and I read some stuff that people were not happy about the stoppage in this fight. And you know, I know the other dude was a former champ, and he was, you know, everybody wants to see a warrior go out on his shield and all that shit. I don't have a problem with that. The thing was, did you guys see that guy's face? His face was swollen like to shit. I mean, it was bad. And I didn't have a problem with that ref stopping the fight. The champion was landing the better shots and the harder shots. He had hurt the Japanese challenger a couple times. So, I mean, I didn't have a problem with that fight being stopped. I know a lot of people did, but I thought it was a fair stoppage. I'm not going to call it a good stoppage because I know the challenger was fighting back, but man, his face was really swollen and was beat to shit, and it's the referee's job to protect the fighter. So, you know, I didn't have a problem with it. Now we go to the Canelo card, the Canelo fight, and, you know, just kind of a brief opinion. You know, I don't know what people were expecting. There's a lot of Canelo haters out there. And, you know, I get that. Whenever somebody's at the top, you know, there's a lot of haters. You know, people don't want to go with the flow. And I'm sorry, but Canelo's the flow right now. Canelo is the pound-for-pound best fighter in boxing. And he, you know, I felt he was outlanding Billy Joe. So, that, I mean, not by a lot. I think he outlanded him by like 13 shots at the end of the day. But it was 52% power shots. You know, he was landing one of every 2 power shots he was throwing. He was getting there. He was landing shots. You know, hey, not to knock Billy Joe. Billy Joe was doing okay. But this notion that he was winning the fight or he was going to take over the fight, it's stupid because, one, he wasn't winning the fight. Canelo was outworking him and outboxing him. So, all 3 judges had it that way. You know, I thought it was about, it was the 8th round. After the 8th round, I think 5-3 was probably the closest you could call the fight. And in that 8th round, Canelo started stepping forward more because Billy Joe was just doing the same thing over and over. So this notion of, if that didn't happen. Well, one, it did happen. Canelo did land the shot that broke Billy Joe's orbital bone. And that is a knockout right there because Billy Joe could not continue. So, you know, it really pisses me off. If this, if that. If nothing, the fights go 12 rounds, correct? Last time I checked, if Billy Joe did not fucking finish that fight, which he didn't because he was injured from a hard Canelo uppercut, then I don't want to hear it. You know, I mean, I don't like this hating like that. It's bullshit to just totally dwindle it down to the nub when it's just like, well, fights go 12 rounds. If Billy Joe was better, he would have went the distance. He would have made it 12 rounds. Canelo landed the monster uppercut that broke Billy Joe's whole eye socket and everything. So, you know, no excuses. Again, though, Billy Joe, he's a slick southpaw. I expected him to be a little bit tricky and do those kind of things. That's the kind of scenario you face with a Billy Joe Saunders, you know, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough because Canelo's the better fighter. Canelo is pound for pound. Canelo is very, very good. And, you know, to me, he's damn near great. He really is. He's a great fighter. And Billy Joe doesn't have anything to hang his head about. He lost to the pound-for-pound best fighter in boxing. You know, and Canelo, in my opinion, is going to go down as one of the best ever. He really is. He's that good. And, you know, all these Canelo haters can just stop it already. Canelo won the fight. He won it clear. He won it fair. Did Billy Joe quit? When they asked him if he wanted to continue, he didn't say anything. He left it up to his corner. His corner stopped the fight like they should have. But, you know, people want to ask is, did he quit? Did he quit? Did he quit? Oh, he didn't quit. He never said it. He wanted to continue. He didn't. He knew something was wrong. He knew he was hurt. That's why he didn't say anything when they asked him if he wanted to continue. Because he knew he was done. So, in a sense, yeah, he did quit, but it was because he knew he was hurt and he couldn't continue. And his corner knew that, and the ring doctor knew that. So, that's why the fight got stopped. But, you know, this whole, I said one guy quit on his corner on my Facebook, you know, a Facebook group that I follow, and there were some guys that were just like, oh, no, he didn't quit, and it's just like, well, yeah, he kind of did, but I'm not knocking him. I don't think he did a no mas, I'm not hurt, I just don't want to continue type thing. It wasn't that kind of quit. It was just like, hey, I don't think I can continue, you know. So Canelo, though, you got to give him his props. You've got to give him his props. Now he holds 3 of the 4 belts. That was a huge win for him right there. And to win like that. And he was winning the fight too. And he was starting to get closer and closer. And he would have continued that pressure through the end of the fight. You know, so people need to just relax. Stop hating so much. Canelo's not perfect. He's not God. He's going to get hit. He's going to lose a couple rounds. You know, I want to remind people, Kovalev was beating him. I know Kovalev was winning on one card and they were even on another, and he was winning by only 1 point on the third card, Canelo. You know, I'll get more into that when I discuss the aftermath and all that stuff of the fight. But Kovalev was in that fight. Triple G almost beat him. Those fights were close. You know, Canelo is not prone to losing a couple rounds or losing some rounds. But, you know, even Daniel Jacobs won 4 or 5 rounds against Canelo. But Canelo does more work and he outworks his opponents and he puts pressure on. And some guys he just stops late. That's what he did to Kovalev. That's what he did to Billy Joe Saunders. So people need to, you know, give credit where credit is due. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. That is the breakdown. I mean, the recap of the Canelo versus Saunders card from DAZN on Saturday, May 8th. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True boxing. You've been hit with the truth.